Hey hosts, Candace here. I am checking in with you from my au pair's room actually. So as you've probably seen in the Facebook group, our au pair departed Sunday night. So we are getting ready to welcome our next au pair who's arriving this evening. So I thought I would take the chance to jump in here, give you a little insight to the au pair room, and also share with you the welcome box that I've prepared for our new au pair, just so you can sort of get an idea on what I do, and maybe it might inspire you with ideas of your own. So I have a ginormous box here, which is, you know, I got plenty of stuff in there to help them sort of settle in, I guess. So I just cut out a few letters out of a magazine to do a little welcome message on the top there. Another idea I had was actually doing a bit of a photo collage on it, but it was just easier sort of doing those letters. Now, one of the probably most important things in my welcome kit for our new au pair is our welcome booklet. Now, I'm going to go through that in a minute with you, because that is it's got a lot of really good information in it. Relatively easy to do, but obviously does take a little bit of time. But anyway, so I'll come back to that one. Now, I've probably got like quite a lot of Australian stuff. I tend to go with just super easy basic things, just as, I guess, more of a gesture to welcome them, and it's just part of the puzzle for my welcome process. So I have an Australian cap, which is really cool, obviously, when they go out and about in the sun. I just pick up these cheap little calendars from like a $2 shop or something like that, and the reason I do that is that they can just look through and see some, you know, really nice scenery shots and things like that around Australia. So it's kind of, you know, just to show that to them, and of course if they want to refer to it as a calendar, they're more than welcome to. I include like a little notebook, so I picked this up from Kmart, and I just like put all these stickers over it and stuff, so they can do a little bit of journaling or write notes and things like that if they like to. And then I usually will have like some sort of a bag in here. I usually try and get like the little shopping bags that are the you know, Australian kind of branded, I guess, so that like with their travels and things like that, if they go shopping or do something, it's just an extra little baggie that they can use. Or, you know, if they want to, they're going to the park or the beach or out and about and they want something extra to carry some stuff in, then that's really cool and easy for them to take home as well. I also include a couple of just sort of like stationery little bits. Oh, this is falling a bit. Yeah, so just a couple little stationery things. Sometimes I find it really hard to actually get some of this stuff, so I'll buy a few little extra pieces when I find them. Lanyards I include as well, so I usually put our house keys on that for them, and pens or pencils and things like that. So that's sort of kind of the basics of what I include in my box. It changes from au pair to au pair depending on what I can find. So now let me show you what else I do. Now, some other things that I might include might be like little toiletry things. So I'll probably generally keep this stuff in the bathroom for them to access. So sunscreen's a really good one. Now for me, I'm really conscious about how many allergies and things like that people have these days. So I try to be conscious about the type of products I'm buying, that I'm not going to be you know, providing something that may cause them problems. So I'm pretty conscious about that. Mouth rinse, toothpaste. I've got this really cool little deodorant. It's called No Pong. So there's a few toiletry pieces. There's a couple of others. These I really, really love. So I actually have these guys in the bathroom. The Thank You brand hand wash, hand lotion. I really love the brand itself, but I love that it's called Thank You, because I'm very grateful for au pairs coming into our life and helping us out. They also have a body lotion, they've got hand cream and some things like that that are pretty affordable. So I like just, you know, being a bit creative with some of those sort of things as well. The other thing that I do have, I kind of acquired along the way. I didn't get them myself, but we have Lonely Planet books. So one of the girls bought one in Dutch. So they've left that here. Oh, Dutch or German? They've left that here for future au pairs, and we've got an English one as well. So that's pretty cool, you know, when au pairs are here, they can have a look through to see and help them from the cultural experience side of things. Now, that is pretty much things in relation to like welcome box and kit. There are so many other things you can do. I have at one point also included, I think, like Vegemite or something like that. But again, same thing with the products. I'm really conscious about people with allergies, or, you know, they might be conscious about what they eat or the ingredients and things like that. So I actually am quite careful in those sorts of things, although it can be a great opportunity to share, you know, some of our Australian type foods and snacks and things like that. So yeah, you just got to be mindful. I mean, you can always ask your au pair if they do have any allergies, which is a really good question to ask. Now, in regards to my welcome booklet, I'll go through that and give you a bit of an insight as to the information I include. Just so one thing back on the back box, I would love to know what other people include in their welcome boxes. What do you love about what I've included in mine? And yeah, what other ideas are out there? Because I think it is always inspirational to see what other people do. Maybe even share a photo. That'd be really cool. Okay, so my welcome booklet. Now, initially I start with a welcome letter from us as a host family. Basically, I just am welcoming them, thanking them for taking the journey over to join us. I do copy a little bit of information out of my Dear Au Pair letter in my family profile. So they've probably read a little bit of it before, but I kind of expand on it and I add a little bit more in there, and just introduce the pack to sort of say, you know, this information pack is just to help them settle in, help answer questions that they might have already and questions that possibly will come up. So that's the welcome letter. And then I have a contents page. So let me go through. So then I have some information about us as a host family. I start off there. And again, this has got information out of our host family profile. But I just add it in here again to either remind them or sort of, yeah, bring it to their attention again, you know, who are we and welcome to our family. And so, and it's also an opportunity to add a little bit more in there that maybe I probably didn't want to include in my public profile, but now this person is kind of coming into our family. I then include our host home information, so I give them like our like I've written in here our address, so in case they want to order anything or, you know, family members want to send them anything, they've got our address. I let them know what keys they're going to be getting for the home, how to access our home when they're, you know, if they go out and about. I then introduce their personal space. So I talk about what we're including in their room for them. I mean, obviously they can see, but it's just the documented version, right? And then, you know, also, what else? They're like personal well-being. So I kind of acknowledge that, yes, we're welcoming them into our family and our home and everything, but that, you know, it's a big step for them. So if there's anything that they kind of want to talk about, or if they're feeling a bit uneasy or nervous or a bit homesick, you know, just come and talk to us. So I'm constantly reminding them throughout this sort of pack, just talk with us, just be open, let us know how you're going. We're here to support you in this process, because I guess my perspective is that supporting them is then in turn support, they're supporting us. So I really value, I feel like that's really important. Settling in information is another thing I share. So I talk about money, books that we've got in the home so they can help themselves to reading our books, laundry, they can help themselves to our laundry and washing machine. Some things may seem really simple and obvious, but I did have a host actually comment that someone they were hosting didn't know that they were able to access the laundry, so they were washing their clothes in the shower. How crazy is that? So I include some really simple stuff like that. Push bike, they can access our push bike. Television, we just sort of give them a bit of information onto what kind of how much we like or don't like to watch TV, what's sort of appropriate, and that they're more than welcome to join us when we watch telly or if they want to watch something, but we're to be mindful around our daughter in particular. Internet, so I've got our internet code and password, and that we also have a printer and scanner that they can access. So much information, but none of any of it at this point has gone into their role, their tasks, our expectations, anything like that. This is just purely information to help them settle in. I want to make them feel welcome and a family member. Local area, so I start to introduce kind of beyond our home and family now. I talk about shops. I talk about eating out, what options there are, or these are just really simple kind of short little intros, so I'm not going into massive detail. I talk about attractions that they might want to go and see, sports and hobbies they can access from here. I also touch on safety as well. So, we feel really safe in our home area, and, the train line that we're on is pretty safe, but I would probably, they would need to be kind of more cautious using public transport in the evenings and things like that. So kind of just sharing our take and our feel on the safety of the area, just to kind of share that with them. Local people, I then talk about local people. Australia is so multicultural, so I sort of talk on that. I also share with them how they connect with other local au pairs, so some of the Facebook groups that they can join and start meeting and greeting other people who are doing the same thing as them. I also sort of share, my family's local here, so I let them know that. I then go into local activities, so they can do surfing and, just sort of what's around and what they can access, either walking or riding distance, which is, just start giving them ideas on what can they start going and doing whilst they're living here. And they might not need a car to access, so how can they kind of get that cultural experience? Hey Bianca, hey Kim. Another thing I do is getting around. I feel like this is a really important one for them, and so much of this information they might not actually be asking all these questions. So I do really like to kind of go to this effort of sharing it. And again, it's kind of just 1 or 2 sentences per topic, right? So getting around is walking, riding, car. They can access Uber here. We've got a bus station really close by. Safety, again, so I touch on safety in relation to public transport in this particular one, or just getting around transport. And then I sort of talk to them about our local public transport, how they can access the timetables and things like that. So I talk to them about the app they can access and the card that they can use. I then talk about travel plans. That's a little bit basic for us at the moment. So if we've got any future sort of travel plans coming up for us personally as a family, whether it's business related or personal related, I give them some information about that, so when can they expect that? Where are we going? Are they kind of invited along? Again, it's just a brief introduction to it, and of course, we talk to them about all this sort of stuff as well. But think about it, right? When they arrive, get off a plane, who knows how long they've been traveling for to get here, and they probably just want to have a shower and kind of go to bed and settle in. This is a really nice thing for them to kind of just read in their own sort of leisure time. around kind of those first few days settling in. What else have I got? Communication's really important. So how we can stay connected as a family and communicating, particularly when they're out and about, especially if they've got our daughter, you know, out at parks or the shops and things like that. So we provide our au pair a SIM card. That's another topic for another time. Hey, Alana! And so I give them a little bit of information about that. And then I have a page that they can write any notes down if they like. If they've got questions, they can make those notes there. And then I finish off with a contacts page. So this is a really handy one as well for them to be able to refer to. What are the contact details of us as host families immediately? But then I also include like my family, my husband's family, anything related to the property, so things like water, power, stuff like that. I mean, typically they're not going to need any of these contact details, but if for whatever reason, you know, like we're out or they can't get in contact with us and they kind of need some other options, it's all here in the back of their booklet. Health and safety stuff, so police, ambulance, hospital, and in a life-threatening situation called 000. So that's where I finished that off, so it's nice and easy on the last page. And again, I welcome them to our family and remind them that to always just chat with us if they've got any questions or any worries. So that's my welcome booklet. Hopefully that gives you some ideas. My stuff like this has taken years in evolving and developing. I always have ideas on stuff I sort of want to add in and adjust, but that's what mine is at the moment. And then I have a separate one where I have everything related to their actual role, so tasks, schedule, everything related to that, their orientation checklist. And so the reason I actually separate that out from this welcome information booklet is I just don't want to like massively overwhelm them, because they've literally just landed and I want this to be in the room to kind of be there, that they can start looking at this information. Got a couple days to settle in, adjust to the different time zone, and then I like to sit down with them one-on-one with the rest of the information, so I can actually talk through it with them, and I can, through my body language, my tone, how much emphasis I want to put on what are the really important things to do with them being an au pair for us and our family, and you know, what are kind of like the here, this is just information for you to refer to help you settle in and get used to the tasks and things like that. You can just refer back to it, or you know, so I use me talking with them one-on-one to go through everything to do with their role. So I keep that separate. I'll go through that another time with you, and yeah, hopefully that helped. Oh, so Bianca, you just printed yours out last night, but you might need us to adjust things. Everybody's got different welcome booklets and kits and ideas and things like that, but feel free to share it. If you'd love some feedback, I'm happy to look at it, and yeah, would love to see how you're going, and super excited that your au pair is arriving very soon. So we're down to what, about 3-ish hours until our au pair arrives, so we'll be welcoming her this evening and she'll be settling in the next couple of days. So hopefully this video helped. Let me know if you got any questions about welcome kits or the welcome information booklet, and yeah, happy hosting.